O Shri Hanuman Mahamantra. O Shri Hanuman.
At the very beginning of Sundarakanda itself, there is an indication of auspicious news. The story begins with the remembrance of the Charanas, the celestial beings who are known for proclaiming good tidings to the gods. The hidden assurance given by Maharshi Valmiki is this: whoever reads or listens to Sundarakanda shall hear auspicious news. On the shore of the ocean, Hanuman sat apart from all the other Vanaras, absorbed in the chanting of the name of Sri Rama. Why was he sitting there? Because there was an unusual incident from his childhood. Through the blessings granted by the gods, Hanuman had acquired extraordinary strength. As a child, however, he did not yet understand how such immense power should be used. When sages dried their sacred garments, the young Hanuman would mischievously tear them. When he saw sacrificial fires and sacred ritual arrangements, he would disturb them with his tremendous energy. The sages did not curse him merely out of anger. Their thought was different. Why should this child be constantly aware of such immense power? When the right moment comes, let him remember it. Therefore, they pronounced a curse that caused Hanuman to forget his own strength. But they also declared that the moment someone reminded him of his greatness, the memory of his power would return and the effect of the curse would disappear. That is why, even when Vali was pursuing Sugriva, Hanuman did not rise against Vali.
He simply did not know the full extent of his own strength. Now came the decisive moment.
Jambavan approached Hanuman and said, "My dear Hanuman, the honor and reputation of the entire Vanara race now rest in your hands. There are only 3 beings in this world who possess such extraordinary speed. There is no fourth. The first is Vayu, the wind god, your father. The second is Garuda, and the third is you. You possess incomparable speed. You possess immense physical strength. You possess extraordinary intelligence and inner power. How can someone like you sit here as though nothing can be done? The honor of the Vanaras and the success of Sri Rama's mission depend upon you." Then Jambavan reminded Hanuman of his divine birth. His mother, Anjana, had once been a celestial maiden who, because of a curse, was born on earth. She became the wife of Kesari. Hanuman was born to her through the divine grace of Vayu, the wind god. From the very moment of his birth, Hanuman possessed astonishing speed. Seeing the rising sun, he mistook the glowing orb for a ripe fruit and leapt toward it. Indra struck him with his vajra. The blow injured his jaw and he fell to the earth. Because of this, he came to be known as Hanuman. The gods then gathered and bestowed their divine powers upon him. Jambavan continued, "O Hanuman, there is no one else in this world with such strength as yours. With such speed, such power, and such brilliance, how can you remain seated here?"
Then Jambavan spoke of himself. "Once, I too possessed immense strength. When Sri Mahavishnu took the form of Vamana and expanded into the cosmic form of Trivikrama, I had the power to circumambulate that divine form many times. But now I have become old. My strength has diminished. I cannot cross this vast ocean of 100 yojanas. You are young. You are powerful. Gather your strength and rise." Then Jambavan spoke words of profound encouragement. He declared that Hanuman was equal to Sugriva, the king of the Vanaras. Though Sugriva was the king in name, Hanuman was in no way inferior to him. And not only that, Jambavan said that Hanuman was equal even to Sri Rama and Lakshmana in brilliance and strength. What greater encouragement could there be? O Hanuman, remember your strength. Rise, cross this mighty ocean. When you travel with such unimaginable speed, all beings in the universe will stand in astonishment at your power. Do not remain seated any longer. The honor of the Vanara race rests in your hands. Go to Lanka, find Mother Sita, return with news of her. Then we shall inform Sugriva, and Sugriva will convey the news to Sri Rama. The promise of gratitude and friendship will be fulfilled. But if we fail, the honor of our king and the entire Vanara race will suffer. You alone can remove the sorrow of so many. Rise, Hanuman." Those words awakened him. The veil that had hidden his own greatness was removed.
There is an important teaching here. We often say that Hanuman needed someone to remind him of his strength. But the discourse explains that by this stage of the Ramayana, the effect of that curse had already been removed. Hanuman's divine potential was ready to manifest. Immediately, Hanuman remembered his own power. He climbed to the summit of Mahendragiri and stood there in magnificent strength. Then Hanuman declared, "Now I remember who I am. There are only two who can travel with speed comparable to mine, my father Vayu and Garuda. If the sun begins its journey from the eastern mountain, I can begin my journey alongside it. Before the sun reaches the middle of the sky at noon, I can reach the western mountain, touch it, return, and meet the sun again. Such is my speed. As I travel above the ocean, the force of my thighs can disturb the waters and raise them as though the entire ocean were being gathered and lifted. I can bind the clouds of the sky with my arms and drag them along. Standing on one shore, I can reach out and touch the opposite shore. I can lift mountains and crush them. I can circle the entire earth. I can agitate the oceans until their waters surge beyond their boundaries. Now I understand the strength that lies within me. I am leaving for Lanka. You may remain free from all worry." Thus Hanuman stood upon Mahendragiri, completely filled with determination. Physically, he still had to travel to Lanka, but in his mind, he had already arrived. This is a profound teaching. Where does sorrow arise? It arises in the mind. And where does the path to overcome sorrow begin? It also begins in the mind. When the mind becomes strong, when it gathers its inner radiance, when it gains the courage to cross even the greatest difficulties, transformation becomes possible. That is why the tradition says, read Sundarakanda. Through the grace of Hanuman and the blessings of Sita and Rama, the mind receives inspiration and strength. Among all the Vanaras standing on the northern shore, Hanuman alone moved forward with such extraordinary enthusiasm that in his mind he had already reached the enemy's city. Only the physical journey remained. With this magnificent image of Hanuman standing upon Mahendragiri, ready to undertake the impossible journey, Sundarakanda begins. Maharshi Valmiki then says, Hanuman, the destroyer of enemies, resolved to travel by the path traversed by the celestial Charanas and search for Mother Sita, who had been abducted by Ravana. Consider the magnitude of that resolve. He had to cross an ocean of 100 yojanas. On the other side stood Lanka, ruled by Ravana, a mighty Rakshasa, a master of austerities, and the lord of golden Lanka. Countless Rakshasas guarded that city, and within that heavily protected kingdom was Mother Sita, whom Ravana held captive. To make the resolve to enter such a place and find her was itself an extraordinary act. That is the greatness of Hanuman's determination. The expression describing the path of the Charanas also carries a deeper meaning. The Charanas are celestial singers and messengers who are associated with auspicious news. Their very remembrance at the beginning of Sundarakanda is interpreted as Valmiki's subtle assurance that those who read or listen to Sundarakanda will receive auspiciousness. The Charanas move through the sky without touching the earth. Similarly, Hanuman chose the path through the sky and prepared to cross the ocean without depending upon anything below him. But the verse has an even deeper spiritual meaning. The word connected with Charana can also be understood in relation to the traditional path revealed by the Vedas. Thus, Hanuman's journey can be seen as the journey of a great seeker. Mother Sita represents the highest divine wisdom. Lanka can be understood symbolically as the inner world, the body and mind into which the seeker turns. While ordinary people remain absorbed in what is visible before their eyes and in the enjoyment of worldly pleasures, the seeker turns inward. Closing the outer senses, taking the wisdom of the Vedas as the guiding authority, and following the traditional spiritual path, he begins the search for the Divine Mother within. This is the deeper secret of worship and spiritual practice revealed through the journey of Hanuman. Hanuman is also described as the destroyer of enemies. But what are these enemies? They are desire, anger, greed, pride, delusion, and jealousy. The spiritual seeker is one who recognizes these inner forces as enemies, even though the world may consider them sources of pleasure or power. Setting them aside, he strives for the vision of the divine. That is why Hanuman is the true conqueror of enemies. There is another beautiful feature in the opening of Sundarakanda. If someone heard the opening verse without knowing the earlier parts of the Ramayana, Hanuman's name would not even be immediately obvious. Who is this great being who has made such an extraordinary resolve? To understand that, one must connect Sundarakanda with Kishkindha-kanda. The greatness of Sundarakanda, the strength of the Ramayana story, and the glory of Hanuman become complete only when the journey is understood as a continuation of everything that came before. Now, Hanuman is ready to depart. Valmiki describes his majestic form. Hanuman stands with his head and neck raised high, his body filled with strength, his mind fixed upon an act that appears almost impossible. He gazes across the vast ocean, stretching for 100 yojanas. He stands facing the southern direction, ready to leap. His appearance is compared to that of a powerful bull standing in its full majesty. The comparison is not accidental. The bull brings to mind Nandishwara. Nandi remains completely focused upon Lord Shiva. Whatever may happen around him, comfort or discomfort, heat or rain, breeze or disturbance, his attention remains fixed upon the divine. In the same way, Hanuman stood completely focused upon his mission. He did not entertain thoughts such as, can I really do this? What if I fail? Is this journey possible? There was no place in his mind for a second thought. The resolve had been made. The mission was clear.
Now, only action remained. Thus, Hanuman stood upon the mountain, steady and powerful. The description then moves to the beautiful green meadows around him. Hanuman, though possessing such immense power, moved freely across the soft green grass with the calmness and courage of one whose mind was completely composed. The force of his movement caused trees to shake and fall. Wild creatures trembled at the sound created by his steps. Yet Hanuman himself remained perfectly steady. The deeper meaning is clear. The spiritual seeker must rise above the attractions of worldly enjoyment. No matter what hardships the body may experience, the seeker who longs for the vision of the divine remains focused upon the goal. This is the state of Hanuman as he prepares for the greatest journey of Sundarakanda. His body stands upon Mahendragiri. His mind has already crossed the ocean. And with the name of Rama, the blessings of Mother Sita, and the awakening of his own divine strength, Hanuman is ready to begin the journey to Lanka.
Om Ham Hanumate Mahabalaya Namatha. Om Ham Hanumate Mahabalaya Namatha. Om Ham Hanumate Namatha. Om Hanumate Mahabalaya Namatha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.